Hi, this is Bob for Bob's Movie Reviews, and today I'm going to bring you a review of a movie I just went and saw in theaters called Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. Um, Talk about the plot, the characters, and my overall thoughts on whether or not you guys should go see this movie. First of all, let me start off with the name of the movie. To me, calling the previous movie Rise of the Planet of the Apes and calling this movie Dawn of the Planet of the Apes doesn't seem to make a lot of sense to me because when you think of dawn, it's like the beginning, the early part, the start. So why wouldn't the other one be called Dawn of the Planet of the Apes since it's the start of the franchise, the first prequel in the series, and the previous one being called Rise of the Planet of the Apes. When Rise, you're like, okay, they're coming up, they're coming to power, they're coming into their own. To me, this movie makes more sense being called Rise of the Planet of the Apes. But that's just me. What do you guys think on that one? All right. So this, if you didn't already know, this is the sequel to the Rise of the Planet of the Apes, or like the ninth, six, seven, eight. I think the ninth sequel total in the Planet of the Apes series. Um, so who's in this movie? Jason Clarke, Gary Oldman, Keri Russell, Toby, Kebbell, um, Kodi, Smit-McPhee, Kirk, Acevado, and I think John Eyez. I think it's hard to tell because a lot of people are just voices of apes. Um, so I thought everybody was pretty good. Um, you got your good guys, you got your bad guys, you got your good apes, you got your bad apes, and I thought everybody did a really good job. I liked everybody; they were all believable as the people they were. So let's talk about. Well, let me not forget about this. This movie is 130 minutes long, so you're a little over 2 hours and 10 minutes, about roughly. It is rated PG-13 and just releases today. Um, so the plot of this movie starts off pretty slow. That's probably one of my biggest complaints of the movie is that it's pretty slow. This is they at one point the apes say 10 winters, so we can assume it's been at least 10 years since the rise of the Planet of the Apes. The medicine they were using, or the experimental drug they were testing on the apes, has now somehow infected humans, and it causes them to die. It's a real quick thing at the beginning. They don't really go into it too much, but basically most of the human population is dead. Allowing the apes to take over. But it doesn't seem like the apes have really gotten very far. They're just still in the woods outside of San Francisco. And so then there ends up being some survivors. And I'm not giving anything away because all this is pretty well documented in the trailer alone. Um, and they want to get power because right now they're running off like diesel generators and stuff. They're like, oh, we're almost out of gas. And I'm like, well, if you just have diesel sitting around for 10 years, I don't think it's any good anymore, anyways. It only lasts so long, but whatever, it's Hollywood. So then they know there's this dam that has a hydroelectric plant connected. So they go to check it out and they're going to turn it on, but of course, this is where the apes live. And much of the first hour to hour and a half is just just the apes deciding if they're going to let them come fix the power plant, humans deciding if they're going to fight the apes, apes deciding if they're going to fight the humans. It's just like back and forth. Are they going to war? Are they not going to war? Are they going to war? Are they not going to war? Are they going to fix it? Are they not going to fix it? And of course the whole time, what the heck is his name? No, not Robo, Koba. Koba. If you remember him from the other one, he's kind of like the bad ape. He was really mistreated by humans, and he's holding a grudge to say the least, but he's always trying to get revenge on humans, and so he's kind of the bad ape who he's like, let's just kill the humans, let's not let the humans in, you know. And of course, Caesar is still their leader, and he loves humans, and it's kind of like this whole thing, like, is Koba gonna try to go to war without Caesar? Are the humans gonna fight? It's just boring, kind of, because there's not not a lot going on. Like, just like I said, it's just like them talking. And so I would say at least an hour and 10 to an hour and a half into it. And then this movie really takes off. I'm not going to tell you exactly what happens, but there's not lots. There's a good amount of action. The story gets good. There's that whole family values. It's sad. It's happy. It gets good at that point. To me, it's too long. And why do they have this whole build up? And really, in the trailer, it seemed like there was a lot of action. In the movie, it's really not as much action. And I think one thing they really tried to do was kind of parallel the humans and the apes, because you have your humans who are just trying to help their kind survive. You have the same thing in the apes. You have the humans that just want to kill the apes for no reason. The apes that just want to kill the humans. You have the human that wants to be a martyr. The ape that wants to be a martyr. It's just like it's too obvious to overlook that they're definitely trying to just show that. I think in all societies, in all people, there's the good and the bad. There's you can't say, oh, this ape killed somebody, so all apes are bad, and you can't say, well, this human killed somebody, so all humans are bad. And I think that's kind of somewhat their message they tried to put into this 9th sequel or whatever. So I did enjoy the movie. I wished that the build-up had been shorter, because at one point I was like, is this movie going anywhere? There's nothing, there's nothing. Who cares? And then, the last hour is worth it. People are already saying this movie's really good, and I don't know what it is. I don't know if people are being like really lenient on movies this summer or what, or I'm being really hard on them, because I haven't liked really any of the summer movies this year. I told people at work I was going to see this, and they're like, "Oh, this is supposed to be really good." And looking on IMDb right now, of course, this is still people who only went to the Thursday night showing or got pre-screenings or whatever. We're sitting at an 8.9 out of 10, so they're giving it another high score on a movie that I don't feel deserves it. I don't feel this is a wonderfully great movie. It's decent. It's worth a watch if you could sit through that first hour. But other than that, I liked it, but you got to wait for the payoff, really. So I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I hope it helped you out. If this review either convinces you to watch it or to not watch it, I'd love to hear. Or if you've seen it, I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you enjoyed this review, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and I will see you guys next time.